Hey guys, what is up? It has literally been like 3 months since I posted last. I mean, I'm a new mom. What can I say? It's difficult to even like get ready in the morning, so that's why. But I wanted to talk to you guys about my breastfeeding journey and just her feeding journey in general. Basically, for the first 4 months of her life, I was just puked on probably what felt like 100 times a day. I don't know. It was like every feed. So probably like, I feel like it was like 7 to 10 times a day for literally 4 months. And it was just like, it was kind of a lot. And at first I was like, is this normal? Because I know babies spit up, but then it just like definitely became apparent that it wasn't exactly normal. So anyway, in the very beginning, we did have to put her on formula for like a hot second just before my milk came in. I think in a previous video, I've already told you guys that. So she really has had formula since the very beginning, primarily breast milk, primarily breastfed, but she's taken a bottle since the very beginning. So thankfully, like, she can take anything, breast, bottle, whatever. She can take anything, so that's good. Anyway, I don't even remember at this rate because it all seems like a blur, but at this rate, I don't remember when exactly I decided to like really try formula. But it was just, it is not for the weak. Let me tell you, it is not for the weak to get puked on all day, every single day, no break. Because I'm talking like, I'm not even exaggerating. I would have to change, and she would be in a bib with burp cloths. I would go through, like 10 different burp cloths every single day. I would have to change her outfit probably like 3 times every day. Half the time I was changing my shirt 3 times a day, sometimes my pants, like, and then Sean would get home from work and she'd puke on him. Like, it was just crazy, to be honest. So it got to the point where I was feeling like really low about it, and I was like, I am one puke away from just like stopping breastfeeding altogether. Which, to be honest, like, obviously I don't care what anybody does. People like formula, breastfed, like whatever. Everyone's situation is they're doing their best in their own situation. For me personally, I would have probably liked to breastfeed solely just at least like a year or so. But, and to be honest, my desire for number 2 will still probably be like, hopefully I don't have such a pukey baby the next time, and hopefully breastfeeding goes better next time. But this first time around, it just was like, it was really difficult. Just the puking part, to be honest. The feeding part, she had a great latch. She has a great latch, and she loves to feed, so that is all good. It's just been the puking. So anyway, I ended up trying out what my brother and sister-in-law use. They use the formula By Heart, and what was weird was at first when I gave it to her, she actually like didn't puke, and I was like, oh, okay. So I was really hopeful, but that lasted like a day, maybe 2, and then she started puking again. So and then to be honest, I feel like I keep saying to be honest, but I did my own personal like trial and error without talking to the pediatrician. I just tried it myself, where I would do like all bottle one day, but it would be like breast milk formula, breast milk formula, breast milk formula. Or I would switch it up and I would breastfeed all day, just breastfeed. Or I would do breastfeed and then formula. I did so many different combinations just trying to see, like, is it my breast milk that's making her puke? And I thought it could be because I have like, thankfully, I have a very good supply. Like, even when I pump, and I don't say this lightly because I know some people have like a really difficult time and experience at pumping. I'm just sharing my experience. But I can sit here for like 5 minutes and get 5 ounces. And so I produce a lot of milk. And then I started thinking, I was like, maybe it's not even my milk. Like, maybe I'm just like drowning her because I'm just giving her so much all at once and she's just taking it all in and it's too much. Like, that's what I thought too. Hence the bottles. And we tried like different nipple sizes and blah, blah, blah. It was just, we tried literally everything. And it got to the point where it was pretty clear that she was just puking all the time. Now, I will say the By Heart, even though it's like one of those like organic, well-tested formulas, it still is cow milk based. So anyway, at her 4-month appointment, I ended up talking to her about this, and it was actually crazy. Sean came after work and I was telling the pediatrician all about her puking stuff, and Sean was holding her and literally she puked on him twice. And the pediatrician was like, wow, like you guys got a performer on your hands. And we were like, fitting for us. Yeah, of course we would have a performer. But basically, we ended up going on a trial because we were thinking maybe it's a cow milk protein allergy. So the pediatrician put us on a trial where I was supposed to solely pump for 3 weeks, which felt a little daunting, but solely pump for 3 weeks and just give her this hypoallergenic formula. I believe it's pronounced Nutramigen. I kept calling it Nutramigen, but that's like facts wrong. I think it's Nutramigen, but I also could be saying that wrong too, whatever. But it was this hypoallergenic formula, and we did it for the 3 weeks. There were a few times that I did end up breastfeeding her because, like, I'm not even kidding you, when I gave her the first bottle, she was making faces like it was the most disgusting thing she's ever had. She literally took both of her hands and pushed the bottle away, or she would, with the nipple, just like chew it, like with this face. So there, like earlier on, I did end up feeding her a few times just because it was like, well, she has to eat. Like, I'm confused because I'm supposed to just give her this, but she's not taking it. She ended up learning to take it well. So we did the trial, and at first, same exact thing. She stopped puking like that first like day or two, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's this. And then she started puking the rest of the time again. So it basically, at our follow-up appointment, I told her everything. We talked about everything, and basically she was like diagnosed with reflux. So with reflux, oh my gosh, I didn't even tell you guys what, like, one of the craziest stories. This was, I feel like it was maybe in month 3, but I fed her and I put her in the bassinet, and literally she's laying in the bassinet, projectile puked. It went went on the floor, it seeped through everything. I have to post this picture. I'll put a picture up, but it literally went through the mattress, and there were like these, just in the plastic base of it, it started, like, the milk filled up in the hole. It was so bizarre. She only ever projectile puked, I think it was maybe like 3 times. So it wasn't all the time, but projectile is like absolutely insane because, one, you're like, how on earth is all of that coming out of them? And 2, it like literally it shoots out like a waterfall. It was so bizarre, and also kind of alarming because, like, when you Google projectile puke, like, rough stuff comes up. And I asked the pediatrician about, I think it's called like pyloric stenosis. I literally asked everything. Like, when she was born, they immediately took her and like sucked fluid out of her. I was like, does that have anything to do with it? Like, residual fluid? I don't know, you know? So I asked like actually a million questions, and anyway, she ended up being, we were told she has reflux. So with reflux, it basically kind of just like, they have to kind of just like grow out of it. And there is medicine for it, but what the doctor told me was that reflux medicine, it doesn't help the puking, it helps with the pain. Now, I will say that she, like, when she's eating, she doesn't act like she's in pain, whether it's breastfed or from a bottle. And honestly, even when she is puking, it just kind of like comes out. Like, she's not acting like she's in pain. And I said that to the doctor, so we agreed to not put her on the medicine and just kind of let her grow out of it. But also, she did tell me to give her some of like the baby oatmeal, or whatever. So basically, after that, I ended up ordering, it's the company called Little Spoon, and I ordered some solids. Again, another like bougie company where they like test for pesticides and plastics and metals and all those things. Pricey, but I was like, you know what, I'll try it like 1 or 2 more times and then I'll be like, okay, it's too much money. But so I ended up buying it's like a powder, but the baby cereal from Little Spoon, and I started putting that in some of her bottles, not all of them, but some of them, and she drinks it, and it's just basically to help like thicken the stomach contents and everything. And to be honest, and she also started solids. So far she has had squash, banana, and sweet potato, and she's liked all 3. So now that she's getting bigger, getting older, and she's starting solids and doing the oatmeal and everything, and it's all working. Like, yes, she does still spit up, but I will say it's not all the time. It's not every single feed anymore, and it just feels more manageable. Like, I'm not having to change my clothes multiple times a day. Oh, another backtrack, but with like, when I asked about like pyloric stenosis and everything, they were not concerned about anything like anatomically wrong, because her weight gain at her appointment was completely perfect. And that's the thing, that's like what was confusing, is she was puking all the time, every single feed, but she's still like, she's heavy, she's a good sized baby, you know. So they were like, her weight gain and her growth and everything was completely perfect, so they weren't concerned about something like that. But yeah, so that's kind of like my breastfeeding journey. Right now, I am down to just doing the morning feed and the night feed. And what's so interesting about like your body, I just went through like a period of time where I was like wearing the pads in my bra and everything. And I just went through the period of time where like I wasn't breastfeeding her throughout the day, and my body just naturally like weaned and like maneuvered itself to, I fill up in the morning and I fill up at night. But it used to be like I filled up every like 2 hours, and it was such a weird feeling, like where you know you're filling it. I cannot explain it. Only someone who has milk come in can understand what I'm talking about. But yeah, now I don't fill up during the day, so I feed her in the morning, breastfeed her at night, and she does bottles in the day. I have a ton of freezer bags of breast milk, so she still is getting breast milk throughout the day. And then we also went back to the By Heart formula, and she gets that once or twice a day. So it's great. She can take both, and she's doing really well. But yeah, that's kind of my breastfeeding journey, and it's been crazy, and partially why I haven't exactly been able to like film, because I'm telling you, it would be like I would feed her, and within the second of like from feeding her to getting her up to burp her, within 1 second she'd be puking all over me or her, and honestly both of us. So long story short, it has been a little bit difficult to actually film, but I did want to give you guys just like kind of an update on how I'm doing and how she's doing. And I do want to just like give a moment of silence for some of these pictures. My mom has been like, you are so bizarre, like tracking all the puking and whatever, like leaking. Oh my gosh, the leaking is a whole other story. But I took so many pictures. So like, here's a moment of silence for just some of the pictures of the past several months. Whoa. Anyway, she's sleeping, but I do want to get her to say hi to you guys since it has been a minute and she's changed so much. So once she's up, I will let her say hi at the end of this video. Hi, can you say hi?
Hi, Daisy.
Look at Dada.
Daisy, you eating? Eating your food?
Show them how you spit it all out.
Mmm, nummy nummy. And it's on the bed again. And all over your face.
Alright, say bye vlog. Say thanks for watching. Bye bye. Say it over here.
Thanks for watching.